What's up, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascent. I have Kaspa up on the screen, the 1 week price chart right now. Going to go into a short-term count. I put out an alt-season video on KAS mid-December, so not that long ago, and nothing has changed. It has held these supports. You have your 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 came down beautifully on top of wave 1. We're just waiting on a wave 5, guys, and there is some confluence up here. If we take that last December high for where we're looking at for a lot of the market, a full 4236 is a 3618 of the broader range right up there at 66 cents. So I'm going to be looking for my primary up there at 66. There's a secondary on the full fib if we overextend up to 77 cents. Right now in the market, guys, we're looking between like a 10 and 20x. Okay. So right now for KAS, what the hell? Give me this. Why isn't it letting me? Why is it locked? I've never locked anything. There we go. Jeez. All right. From where we're at right now, that's about a 14, 15x, right in the middle of the range that I was just telling you. But even on the high end here, 16x still fits into that 10 to 20. So this is going to be my primary target level up here for KAS. I do think we have a fun fifth wave headed our direction. You know, you could look at these as some intermediary targets or maybe a slowdown point, but I don't think that this is going to be the end right there. I do think that makes it up there. So that's the longer term view. Again, you can go check out my video from early December. Okay, so on the shorter time frame here, let's do this. I'm going to get rid of that broad one. You take a look, and I mean, we're seeing this all over the board, right? With different alts, like bouncing up against this trend line. Now, this one goes back all the way to July, all right? And looking at it, we just hit it again, right? Haven't been able to bust through, but what we are doing is we're forming a little bit of a triangle here. I expect this thing to break to the upside. Again, it's going to be dependent on a lot of the market, but right now we're just kind of consolidating. It's like the beach ball moment. We've seen a lot of alts break out of this already. Okay, KAS hasn't yet, but doesn't mean that it won't. Just find a little bit more resistance there, and that is completely okay. On the daily, again, might take a little bit back, come down a little bit lower to this bound. Like to see the 60 hold there if possible. The good thing we have going, though, is this next move should start from above the 0 line. When we start on the MACD above the 0, you tend to get stronger moves in the direction that you're headed. So above 0, stronger moves to the upside. If you're starting it below 0, like over here, look, we had a bad cross right here below 0. What happened? Bam, we took back a lot of price on that move. So that's just the inverse of what we're looking for right now. But that move alone lost 56%. So just going through the waves right now, nothing to be concerned about. One thing I meant to call out here is this does look like a completed double three WXY correction here. All right. You have a B, C right there. You have an from this guy, A, B, C, could count it down a little bit lower. That's all right. And then an A, B, C here for 3, 3, 3. And they call that a double three WXY correction. Jeez, a mouthful. So that's how we got there. But again, this triangle is building, and I do expect it to break here sooner than later, guys. When it does, the first level I'm going to be looking for is I expect to catch some resistance. I mean, it could take us a minute, but I'm expecting to catch some resistance up here between 13 and 15 cents. Only what, like a 3x away right now from where we're at. So not too far, but I could totally see it getting up there. And what we'd be looking for, like this is kind of a smaller time frame count, but essentially what this would be looking at is you have a 1. This was the 2 that we're in right now. You could see like, 3 coming up either into these levels, or it could get up a little bit higher, 4, and then we go on our 5th wave like that, right? It could look something like this. We're just speculating. But this next move, I expect there's a couple different areas it could go. Like I said, those higher retracements right here, it could double top because you see all of these tops that we have right here, right? Bam, 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 bam. Odds are it's going to catch some resistance there for KAS specifically. So you see your 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5th and final wave should be up, up, and away. So that's just kind of how we're looking. Like This chart is really clean. There's a lot of other charts where the counts are a little bit murkier. This is not one of them. And if we look at the weekly, let's get over a little bit. This thing's already gotten up a little bit high up here. We want to see the weekly stay above 60 and weave a little bit. We haven't had a ton of that in the past, but this hasn't had an alt season yet. You do see, though, how when we break above the 60 right there, we went on a 5x move from right there. So essentially the spot we're at, that would take another few weeks, a month to get up there. And we saw in the past that that has been some positive price appreciation. So is that going to be our wave 3, that moment? Very possible. Wave 3 from where we're at right now, we're looking at like a 4x. That was a 5x. So makes sense if we were to get a similar size move here, get us up into that region, at least give us some breathing room, man. Just, you know, put some life into the alts here, breathing a little bit into it. But I do think these macro markets look ready, man. Bitcoin dominance dropping or looking ready to drop, and just a lot of things. U.S. indices off in a new all-time highs. So KAS will move, but it is super dependent on the rest of the market, and that's exactly why I created the Quantum Circle to go over the macro. Real-time trades, access to my portfolio, 2 macro videos a day, a Discord, and I teach you how to do TA. Link to that in my bio. If not, guys, thank you so much for being here. If you could follow, like, repost. I want to blast this out to as many as I can before it's too late. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Friday, and I'll catch you in the next one.